I have some things I need to say, some updates to give you, some thanks to give, some questions to answer maybe, all of the above. I have too much to say, as always, so the video will serve the purpose. To say thank you to the following people, the attendees yesterday, Russ, Dave, Sheaf, Mel, Linda Worth, Wayne or Lord Williams, Julia, Julia C, Mark, Michelle, Warren Bell that is, John, Andy, Binman Andy, yes mate, Carl Gettins, legend, what a legend. We'll talk about Carl in a bit. Peter, Purple Drake, your email, thank you. Bob Singh, we need to talk about you, legend Bob Singh, that was amazing, thank you for that Bob. Martin, no surname, John, and Nigel Christopher, so thank you, yeah, everybody that attended yesterday. Epic. It was the first of our seminars, meetings. We did have, we'll say, some technical problems with the fact there was no windows and light. We couldn't shut the light out, so the projector was a little bit weak. We did manage to relay everything we needed to. All the important vital information got out. So the location, yeah, the location now is going to be permanent. We are yet to finalise further monthly meetings with them. If that's what you want, then we will go ahead and do so. Yes, who we got? Colin, Conrad, Andy, Mel, morning, afternoon. This morning for me, I had a 10-hour kip, properly drained. Friday I got 4 hours sleep. I couldn't sleep, I was too excited, and yes, just like to say, so a big thank you everybody that travelled far and wide, people coming up from London, some late comers in the afternoon, the London lads, Adam and his crew. Thank you very much, everybody that, I think David stayed out in a hotel, he was the one that filmed for us. Well, man's worked with Steven Spielberg, so that is epic in itself. We met some real colourful, fantastic, energetic, lively characters. Overall, the video, the Wi-Fi wasn't too strong, the data wasn't very good. We did have 4K HD filming going off, which we've got to upload yet. I'll speak to David about that. He has wireless on his camera, but the Wi-Fi, for his camera to be active on the Wi-Fi broadcast, he needed a code, and he left the code. So yeah, admittedly we had some technical issues. We've never been to the venue before. Bosnia House, aptly named. Yeah, it's just a community centre that Serge happened to find. Birmingham's easily accessible. It's recently renovated. We can get about maximum 200 people in there, maybe 300. So we have the potential to have a main room. Alongside the main room, we can have little study seminar groups, private ones going off perhaps, with regards to the trusts and the equity that we broke out. We need to talk to Richard Ansar and maybe get some bookings, some issues there with regards to who wants to go on some courses if you've got money available. If not, the people that can't afford it, that's where we'll come in, and we will develop you, bring you up to speed and study together with regards to the applied processes and the learning of trust and equity. If anybody wants to come down and speak, Serge, bless you, he did an excellent job. It was his first time speaking. He did tell me he didn't want it recording, and that he was willing to do a presentation on his PowerPoint that we've put up in the group today and shared it. So it isn't easy to do this. It's quite hard. It's, you know, people want to pull you down, you get attacked for it. But what Serge presented yesterday was expertly done. It was, you know, it was like he's a professional. He's just been in this group now, I think 4-6 months maximum, and we've been chatting, having Skypes, sending files, analysing the change of direction for Sovereign. So apologies for everybody for the lack of coverage and the lateness of it. I understand there was issues with the location, so we'll rectify that. This will be a permanent location. We will stay on that. Birmingham, it's easily accessible, so I will do the bookings, or the admins will take the bookings. Daryl, thank you for that. No criticism at all. It was the first time we've used this process and we'd used external servers. Andy, respect. Yes, thank you. Respect to you. Mandy Gold, hello. Hi Mandy, good afternoon. So what do we have to talk about? Carl Gettins, hey, Carl Gettins. What a get-in, Carl Gettins. I was expecting him to turn up and other people in that area to turn up, people that are in Sovereigns. People did warn me there are people in Sovereigns, members that are civil services, ex-army, been in groups and organisations which are considered secret. We give these people a chance. We're open to all. We need to educate the policy enforcers. So, I was told there was a policeman present yesterday, which is why we are very careful in our conduct. We had a private meeting. They will always be private. They can only be by invitation only. Amanda Francis, hello, good afternoon. Respect for your work. Thank you. Respect for yours. Your sharing, your interaction. This is important. It was heavy going, to be fair. My presentation, which I've uploaded the PowerPoint for you to have a look at, it's taken from the Golden Web. I advise that you watch these. I've posted all 3 links for the videos in the event page. We will share things in this event page for now. I will make another event page. We'll go for the last weekend in August. I haven't got a date, but we'll say I have holiday 4th of August, 18th of August, so somewhere in the last week, possibly the last weekend of August. If anybody wants to come and present or has a PowerPoint or anything you want to come and speak, we need to know early, so we can get you booked in for that. What else do we need to talk about? Yeah. Bob, thank you for your contribution, Bob, what you said, the information that you brought to the table. John, the information that you brought about the bailiffs. We've got a lot to review, we've got a lot to look at. So, yeah, altogether we had a turnout of about 32-ish people, 35 with some latecomers we was expecting. We had bookings for this many people, which was 102. I don't think that many people got lost. I think some people may have initially expressed an interest, so we are okay for capacity. It isn't an issue, but more people could have come. We was expecting a limit of 50 to 70, so when we saw 102 we stopped taking admission. So next time we'll have a later time for admission. We'll advertise in the last week for your admission. So enjoy the presentations. Those of you that couldn't make it, you haven't missed much. You missed the live interaction part of it, so obviously we put the presentations up there for you. If you want another meeting, we'll have another one. We are going to set up workshops, so these trust workshops and the Treasury Direct accounts, this is yet to be finalised and sorted out. We mentioned we've got a process for the civil procedure rules, so anybody that has a civil procedure claim brought upon them. Morning, John Sherry. Hello. Afternoon. Thank you. Civil procedure rules of equity have merged, so we have done a lot of extensive research on these rules, regulations, statutes, and public and private, how to manage. So we are going to bring this to the table, but we have to be careful how we bring this to the table, because we don't want to bring you everything at once without giving you the chance to comprehend and fully, have the power, so to speak, vested in you. You're going to vest things, and the word vested is a powerful word. Trusts are powerful, so we're going to teach you the tools, the ways, how to recognise trust, how to establish a trust, how to born a trust, what a res is, what the declaration is, things like that. We are going to explore the ecclesiastical side. This hasn't been finished. We haven't reached a definitive agreement between ourselves what we need to do with regards to protecting the person, claiming the person. The fact we've found Treasury Direct accounts, and we've claimed them, we've located and found these out. So this is yet to be discussed. Further analysis needs to be done. We broached and covered the subjects we needed to, but this is again another reason why we can have many rooms, maybe 2 or 3 rooms at the seminars going forward, and you tell us what you want. So Lynn Scott, bad signal, keeps cutting out, every other word is being interfered with. Alright, I'm sorry about that. I'm at home, I've got a strong Wi-Fi. At the event we had bad Wi-Fi. We will get them to move that closer so we have maximum coverage on the Wi-Fi. If David comes again to film, then we will have his Wi-Fi linked up, so we'll broadcast in 4K HD and we'll do it across many rooms. We'll have a private room for private tuition, and private speakers if you want. So let us know in the forthcoming weeks what you want, how you want it structuring. We will facilitate it. We will lay it all out. We will build it as you want it built. We will listen to you. And Scott Hazard, this sounds great. It is great. It's fantastic. How can I put it? When we mention the laws of nature, the laws of attraction, the power of intent, these laws go cap in hand with the laws that are I don't know, the statutory laws aren't really laws, they're the statutes and acts by consent. So we'll look at the natural laws, and this is where we differentiate. We have got consensual laws, then we've got the laws that we consider natural, like not to get married, to have a mate, not to consent, not to have a license. These are the Creator's laws, God's laws. We broach a bit on Christianity and the religion side of it, because that's the history. When we go back and trace the families, the history, and what's happened with the Babylon, exit Babylon, there's a reason why it's called that. If you look at the history of Babylon and what Babylon stands for, where we're at with Babylon, the language that we speak, the phonetics, it's a massive arena that we're covering. So it spans 6,000 years. Carl, your information was absolutely superb. Carl Gettins, you're welcome at any event, anytime. Doesn't matter what people have to say about you. We will welcome you to the family. We've welcomed you to the family. What you said and the topics you brought up was truly fantastic. So again, thanks to everybody that spoke up, everybody that had some input, everybody that attended and travelled. You know, that was a massive effort. We really appreciate that. The location is going to be, you know, constant, so we're going to always be at Birmingham. Thank you, like again, for Serge and his input, the research you've done, the work that you've carried out, bringing us Richard Ansar, things like that to have a look at, the private and the public constructive trust side of it. I was very impressed with the way that you held yourself, that you delivered the content. We'll take a plasma screen next time. We'll get it, you know, 40-50 plasma screen. We'll get a bracket set up and we'll have it, you know, bang in the middle so everybody can see the presentations. You've got to give us some credit for trying an effort. The venue itself we were very happy with. The overall turnout, I think that was a good turnout. The 30-35 average for the first meeting, the seminar, to iron out the cracks, to get a feel for each other, to give out some hugs, to say hello. That was amazing. You know, we've got some room for, you know, improvements. We'll take the feeling from what you guys are saying. Anything that you do want, you know, we'll include. We'll get the separate room set up. Give me the feedback, give us your comments. Serge, hello, good afternoon. Mandy Gold, you offered petrol to share from Somerset, unsure anyone in your area wanted to, when or awake to go. Yes, well, there's always trains. We're giving you plenty notice, Mandy. We could look at going mobile, and if you guys can find somewhere in London, Somerset, Devon, Wales, we can travel. We don't mind doing that. You've travelled to us, we can travel to you. That's an option, see. So if anybody can find a community centre that's cheap, we don't want to spend more than a couple of £100 for the full day. So anybody that's got a location, a venue, if you know someone that owns a pub, a function room, that'll do. But we're not drinking. Alcohol is banned at our seminars. There is no alcohol. But we'll meet at a pub if it's cheap enough, it's big enough, and you can all get to it. We'd prefer to stay away from the churches and the pubs for various reasons, but we can look at the, you know, function rooms or separate rooms like that. Anybody that's got any ideas? Yes, bless you, Serge. Blessings all round. When we was talking and we was doing the presentation, what happened? We all got blessed. You know what happened? This was fantastic, more so than what Carl did and said, and what Bob did, and everyone else. You know, the fact that this happened made me stop and think for a second. I mentioned the word, I was doing phonetics, etymology, doing the presentation. You'll see it in one of the slides, and it said something about ice. The word ice was in there, and it was comparing something. When I said the word ice, immediately an ice cream van went past, started playing his music. Somebody in the audience made the connection. Synchronicities are going off. That was, I know it sounds weird, but we're getting synchronicities. Liam knows, Dean knows, Warren knows, Serge knows. When you get things happening like that, it's just a real good, it was a power moment, because it's scary doing what we're doing. We're trying to invoke people's inner soul, your spirit, and waking you up, realise who you are, what you've got, what power you've got, how to contract, when not to contract. The birth certificate alone is in depth, and it's just scary. The systems, the tri-state, what's happening, the information brought back to us about that. You know, we can always have the corrections. We are 90%, 95% accurate with most things, you know. We've got a lot of experience, we've got a lot of history, so we are open to other people to come down. This is an open invitation for any group, any admins that are in any kind of group. You are welcome to come down, you are welcome to sign up. We could perhaps look at making a national register, national database of independent Anglicans that want to actually facilitate and administer, you know, like what we've got with the Sovereign's Bailiff response list. We need to get more on this. I'm offering it to you to give us the assistance and help. Anything you can think of, we'll bring it up at the meeting. We'll set registers up. We need to sort our trusts out. This is the important bit. As you noticed yesterday, the trusts are important. They're powerful. They have public standing. They have private standing. So various capacities can be applied with the trusts. We explain the reason for the change of direction. We are not advising you or telling you. We are just simply saying during our research over the last 18 months, 2 years, we are finding out different avenues to explore. Steve McRae's come along and offered his input. Chrissy Morris has come along and offered some of his input. We've all considered everything. We've put it out there. We're open. We're upfront. We work together. And anybody else that's got something that's worked or something we're missing or something they think we should include, topics generally to be included, natural and man-made law, that's it. And then the comparisons to and from any documents you've got. I handed some out yesterday as an example for statutory declarations, notice of intent, statement of intent, things like this to give you a feel for the words. I did direct you to the information button on Sovereign, so you go to the top and you look at information. A lot of you are having difficulty with this. There's 270 approximately PDFs and Word documents that you can all upload, you can all submit, and you can all download. They are not for commercial use. They are not for anything but study. If you choose to use these documents, take extractions from these documents, you do so for your own gain, you know, your own use and at your own liability. All we are doing is facilitating an arena and an area of safety, security, and honourable interaction. And we're telling you what we're finding, and we're comparing our study. So anybody is welcome to contribute. Anybody is welcome to give documents. Fantastic for a first event. It was fantastic. Yes, it was electric, John. Absolutely electric, to be fair. What about set up Angel Grinders Anonymous for illegal clampers? They're yes, they're there for human rights, like bailiff busters, response teams, more live situ help, and as when needed, maybe get the Hells Angels on board. Whoa! Now that's stuff that I like. That's just like electric. Yes, unionship. What did Bob Singh say? Communities, common unity. Get back to the common unity. Yeah, we're all for that. If these people want to attend, we are welcome. You saw yesterday the type of people that we will let attend and how we will create a uniship and partnership. We are not judgmental. We're not going to pigeonhole. We're not going to stereotype. We accept everybody as equal. We look after each other. And that's it. We have to create a new kind of mentality, which is why we go into the quantum, which is why we went into the spiritual, which is why we went into the applied basics of mathematics and the theory of phi and pi. These all may sound abstract, but they are related. And because you guys, you know and care about so much, the posts that I get, they're not just law related, and they touch me here. Some of them I had to make the YouTube channel to do with cancer. Mark Salon, keep it up, keep them posts coming. The cancer cures, talking about the holistic healing, talking about the foreign war policies and the law and the statute and the act and what's happening abroad internationally. That's all fantastic. Talking about the way that stuff's portrayed on the news, the global cabal that we're aware of, the controlling families, the history of it, things that you might not say that are law related. These quantum mechanics and applied theories kick in with Tesla and Tesla's teachings, free electric. You see, the laws are we pay for the gas and the electric, but we shouldn't be. And there are also greener energies that we're trying to network with the Ubuntu movement, Jack Fresco, the Venus Project. Anybody that does political stand-up, that'd be excellent to have these people down. George Carlin, I want to be that man. When I am 60, my retirement, George Carlin. Hello, Loretta Brown, Michelle, hello, good to meet you yesterday. Ricky Hall, hello, good afternoon. Mandy Gold, if you can find some Hells Angels and get some people linked up, then yeah, we can have a partnership, we can have a national network. I encourage you, if you know any benefactors or business owners that want to perhaps divert their tax payments from the Treasury and want to put it legally using loopholes, tax loopholes and donations to us, we will open a trust fund and we will appoint a board of 3 trustees. They will manage it. We will make you guys the beneficiaries. You will benefit by having that money available to you. We will fund it and streamline it into the networks that need it. London, Midlands, Leeds, Scotland, Ireland, Wales. So we could have 6. There you go. If you know anybody that's got crazy money and they want to divert it, and we know how to do it. We've got the forms already set up, diverting the tax legally to even a Bitcoin. If they don't want to be publicly known, we've got ways to send it to Bitcoin accounts. We can have it sent via the usual avenues. It's up to you. People will come out if they hear the message and they like what we've got to say and they see what we're doing. This is only going to get bigger. It's going to be like a snowball. We expect it to build momentum, to pick up fast, and we expect, well, I'm not going to tell you what else we expect, but we're not children. We have finally reached full maturity, spiritually, mentally, consciously. That's how we work. That's why we did with the first meeting, try and keep it as secure as we could. Do the PDF style download, a bit like an old school rave. That's where that idea come from. 1994, Dreamscape, Fantasia, Helter Skelters. They used to advertise the raves on flyers, secret little shops, telephone numbers, ring up the night before. Northern Techno Alliance in Sheffield. Anybody that's freedom music based as well, we want them. We need artists now to actually put the message into song. Cassie Crowhurst, London. What we're saying about the K Reno's, Immortal Technique, things like that. Anybody that's English based. Who did I meet the other day? Black the Ripper. He's doing. Check Black the Ripper out on YouTube. There's some youth there with talent. We could get him on. Anybody that's got musical connections that can link people up. Comedy, music, things like that. Anybody that's got something to say that wants to take an hour, half-hour section to talk, you're welcome. What we noticed yesterday, and Serge told me, and my missus told me, Anne-Marie, and a little bit of feedback was, we need to shorten down the information that we give you. So again, we will have a beginner's, say intermediate, beginning room, and we will have an advanced room. The advanced room will be for the swatters, for the people that tell us what you want, what subjects to cover. We'll get experts in, we'll get guest speakers in, and we'll have that separate to the intermediate room. So we're going to go down 2 ways here. We'll look at nationally doing it, but like I say, we need to get the funding. This is a monetary system. I explained yesterday how evil and corrupt the money is. We know that, but we can't use negotiable instruments. We can't get access to our accounts. We know what we've got. We know the power. We know how to offset. We know how to A for E. We know how to make unified, UPU, Universal Postal Union. We can make a document of A4 military graded paper now. We can put on the stamps. We can autograph it. We can turn it from just a standard bit of blank paper with nothing. We can put 2D interaction on it. We can make it into a military document which would be under the UPU, which is internationally recognised. We've got a lot of strong techniques that we're finding out about, like the signing without liability, how to contract. It's all up for review. Ricky, hello. Michelle, Loretta, Andy, Haley, thank you for your comments. You may have noticed yesterday it was a little bit cobbled together because it was the first time, but we got good feedback from it. Generally everybody was happy, they was impressed with the information. A lot of people making notes, that was excellent to see. I think we've covered everything now. I will wait to get your feedback from this video. Give me what you want, where you want it. We'll have 2 rooms. We'll say guest speakers, any stand-up comedians, anybody that's musically orientated, anybody that's linked up with anybody on different media platforms, send us the links. We have got a confidential email if you want to talk to us private. It's an Office 365 fully encrypted email. contact@sovereignparalegals.uk is the full email. If you DuckDuckGo, don't use Google, search engine, the Sovereign Paralegals website, you'll find it. The call for help went out for webmasters, anybody that can help build and design a website with me that can incorporate an interactive page like we've got in Facebook. This is the next thing we're going to do. We've got 300 and something pounds, £20 in our fund account. So that's on the fundraiser account, that's public and fully open. No money's been spent yet, but what we'll do here with that is either spend it to build a different website and a purpose-built one, or we'll either use it and save up the full money for a van, and we'll go mobile, and we'll go for the bailiff response. Anybody that's available to do bailiff response, so anybody that's got the luxury of not working for some reason, it's got a lot of free time on their hands, it's got a big strong heart that wants to go out and operate in a private capacity, in a lawful capacity, that wants to be the peacekeepers, the angels of the roads for the people, then we need that. We need that assistance. We don't want to tell you what to do, we want the ideas to come from you. This is a free and open to some extent, we'll say, country. We was allowed to broadcast on Facebook. It was a bad connection. It was interrupted. If you look at that video and you actually go back and listen to what we said, what was said, the topics covered, that was massive for me. That was the biggest thing I've done ever today. And you guys were involved in that. You was a part of it. There was no trouble. There was no violence. There is some negativity with regards to the contact, how we advertised it, how we kept it close to our chests. That now will be alleviated because you already know. We'll publicly announce the venue. We're going to keep that constant. So, yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Anything else you want, let us know. Just big love, big thanks for that effort, for the travel, for the time, for putting up with us, for the feedback we need, because we continuously are seeking to improve. We're leading a cutting edge environment here. We found a niche in the market. Why? Because we're open, we're honest, we provide the source, we provide the evidence, we give the credit to the people, we operate in a different way. We are the change that we expect to see in the rest of this world. We have found that there is dishonour, there is embarrassment, there is a mass amount of shame on our shoulders, because at the end of the day, we have the document that says, the fiction, we have been securitized, whether you like it, whether you don't like it. The fact of the matter is, so some way, humanity, English, Anglo, inhabitants have been securitized. Now we're advertising the fact. Steve McRae, he's got a way to not be, securitized. If you've got the time and the money to research this, I say money because he advertises how much work that's involved. It's not a quick process. It's a massive, in-depth, complicated, very serious process, and he requests a fee. So that's understandable. We feel that burden. We feel that strain. We are here for the people that are on the dole, for the sick, the needy, the weak, the vulnerable, the people that have no funds, the people that have no credit, the people that are on their arses, so to speak. Pardon my French, but there is a massive amount of people out there that we recognise that are unable to get access through the monetary system. So we step in. If we could get you to use your A for V, promissory notes, offset your debts, use the bills of exchange, negotiable instruments, we'd be doing that for you. But there's been legal parameters set there, so that even though we can see the system, we acknowledge the system, we follow the system, we engage the system, without liability, with liability, whichever it takes, it gets kicked back. So we'll ring up the bank, much like the Treasury reversals, and you'll say, I have authority, I have the account, I am instructing you. We need to start looking at audits on things like this. We need to start asking for investigations then. We need to start getting the form numbers and looking at the processes involved to contest this. But again, it's very deep, it's very serious, which is why we're going to set up workshops for it. We're going to do it face to face, we're going to do it with paperwork, we can have the online sessions in Sovereigns, we can go live, We've got all the facilities. What we need is you guys. We need the interaction. We need the continued support. We need a benefactor to come along at some point. We need more admins, more administrators. So what we do here is say to Russ, Gibbs, Stephen Colley, David Sheaf, Mel at Yahoo 2007, Linda Worth 117, Mike, Claire, me, Wayne, Lord Williams, Julia 69, Mark Barnett, Michelle Capiche, Warren Bell, John of the Family Taylor, Liam Palmer, Andy Binman, Andy, yes, I love that, Carl Gettins, Peter Purple Drake, Bob Singh, Mart B16, John, it says Gardner 2 at Sky, and Nigel Christopher. You guys, thank you for that. If you guys want to offer any help towards being a moderator or an admin of, you were the core people that were there yesterday that we've checked off. There was more, but you didn't check yourselves in. So anybody that was there yesterday, now you've had a feel for what you do. You've met us. We've had hugs. We've had the interaction. If you could consider or contemplate administrative roles, moderator roles, that would be excellent. If you know anybody that's retired that we could do that, we'll put you as a moderator first and we'll monitor it, see how your interaction and your strengths goes, then we'll upgrade you to the admin role. The t-shirt should have been, the new batch should have arrived yesterday. I'll get onto that and see where the delay is and what's happening. This is going to be a good way of promoting the way that we go. We had ideas for t-shirts yesterday. We came out with a lot of good quotes whilst we was involved in the presentation of the seminar. We got time to pause and get feedback and interaction on that, on the material that we delivered, and there was quite a lot of humour and sarcasm there. And we could splinter off with merchandise as well. Obviously, be careful how we do that. It's obviously donation based, and yeah. We've got a lot to consider. Anybody that's got spare law books and things like that, or that's got someone in the family that's been through the system and gone through university and has got any spare literature, we can use to source some reference. We've got a lot of digital stuff, but not a lot of the physical books, references, like the Black's Laws. We've got all them, and most of them, and we've got the PDF files of the others, Halesbury's, Blackstones and things. So if anyone's got anything that we could have for donations, we'd like to start a little donation up for physical objects. What you got saying here? Do you have a link from yesterday to see the full show? Yes, we'll get the link. It'll be uploaded via David, I think it's Evans. Forgive me because I'm meeting a lot of new people recently and I'm trying to keep your names in here. David Evans. So yeah, he's got the HD video of that, so we'll upload it. It's not perfect and it is rough. We don't like to work from scripts. We like to go from the heart, but people like me that rabbit on or sidetrack need a script sometimes, which is why we have the PDF presentations. So if you're all happy with it, we're happy with it. Thanks for the feedback. We are wanting constructive. Negative will be accepted and obviously dealt with and improved upon. Positive, we will build upon that, make it stronger and better. But the only way to make it stronger and better is to stop doing it. I'm not from Birmingham, I'm from the Midlands or Sheffield, born in Rugby. So wherever you are at present is where you need to focus. You are the people that know your immediate area. You know the local business people, you know the local community centres, you know the local big open spaces, the communes, things like that. So these are the things that we need to now start thinking of, not coming to see a speaker per se, coming to your own, going to your own area and hearing people from your own area, strengthening the network from people around your own area. And once we've got like I say, a few cities involved, get the tags on here, get the input on here, then we need to concentrate on that. Stop the travelling so far, keep it local. We could have a quarterly national get together with everybody on, you know, and pick a big location and do it that way as well. So we'll go online and do the seminars. That's to be considered. I've never done that, so I need help with that. Anybody that has done it, that can do one, this is going to be provided by us. initially for free, but it will be donation based. So we will involve the monetary system. We are going to say we'll have to work it out with the people that that are going to get involved and make sure they've got time, pre-record it. We've seen how it's done now through professionals, and we'll upload the videos to servers. We'll have passwords and usernames and logins for that, and we'll issue them, so you can get on there and you can do it in your own time, so you won't have to travel. You can do it in between work, sleep, and your slave duties and your servitude. You can pick it up at your own pace. Once you've learned all of that, you'll then come physically to meet us, and then just start drafting up the paperwork, actually get to hold the paperwork, look at the seals, look at the stamps that you have a go at drafting it up yourself on your own, and then presenting it to a group of people working in satellite, in-house groups, and then coming to meet us and presenting it as a group to us. We will act as the judge and jury, literally, and we will then be judging and telling you. We'll do like mock court situations, so we'll literally have kangaroo courts. We'll sit there, we'll have some of the admins and anybody that's got the experience in the trust area. If Steve McRae and Richard Ansar want to get on board with this, Chrissy Morris, anybody that's got the experience that wants to open up and share, then we'll set up a board, administrators and owners of other Facebook groups. This is your area. You can come, present yourself, step forward, tell us what you do, tell us your experiences, tell us what you're willing to do, what time you've got, and then we'll include you. We need to start, this is why the anonymous wear the mask, because it takes away anybody that wants the financial gain, and it stops the embarrassment, it stops the having the target put on your face, because there's a bullseye here right now. Anybody that speaks openly and freely, because of the statute Tory, the Troy business, so I respect the fact you might not want to step forward, but it's your choice. We'll protect each other, and we work within the parameters of what the creator says primarily. Then we go with what these guys say. We go and we consent, or we don't. If you do step out of the ring, the box, and you want to you want to work with us, then thank you very much. We'll accept that. Message is private, send an email. And I'm talking to administrators and owners of other groups at the minute. The current members that we have, anything you've got, will work sideways to that. Yeah, that's it. Everything's been covered. Thank you very much. It's been an amazing 48 hours, to be fair. I'm sorry it was a bit cobbled together, and we'll get over the teething problems. We'll work at it together. Thank you for the offer, Andy, Jules. Yes, this is what we need now, the interaction. We've got to make it to be one independent network, not anonymous. We don't need the masks, but we need something similar. They've got that process, that business structure, that model is great, because it doesn't apportion anything. It's equality. As I said yesterday, all I've done is create sovereign paralegals and bring your documents, bring your research, see and feel and have interactions with individuals in the Facebook realm that I've never met, kind of feeling the vibe. Yes, Jules, you know about this. Carl touched on it a lot yesterday. There are a lot of you know about the vibration and the consciousness and the holistic side, the spiritual realm to this. So that's what we need to employ now, because we're losing it, and people aren't going to church. People have lost faith in humanity. They've lost faith in themselves, hence the doctors and the antidepressants that we talked about. The way that people are going this way, we're following a curve, and the curve's obviously, it's that kind of curve. We need to bring that curve back up, and we've got ways of doing that without medication, without doctors. Some people that have had issues for several years speak to people like us, hear 10-15 minutes of conversation. Some of them get emotional. We saw some emotions yesterday, which is always good to see. Tears of happiness, tears of relief, tears of, losing the fear makes you cry, because you carry that burden here. You go to sleep every day wondering, worrying, paychecks, debts, money, children, fees, school dinners, everything, your payment plans, the electric meter, has it got enough credit, is it running out, have I got petrol in my car, what's the current price? And it's this kind of reassurance that you need, because we can help you with this money management, practical things in life. It's not just about the black and white templates of the statute laws. It's about, we offer a service. Because you're so knowledgeable and you're so caring, we will then start to set up niche specialised areas where you need that help. And there are possibly 4 or 5 main areas that you need help, which is your heart, your emotions, the way that you cognitively have your cognitive dissonance. You don't realise you have cognitive dissonance, and this is what we're saying. We understand that, and we overstand it, and we understand it. We've been there, we felt it. So these are issues you need to understand your environment, to get your status, to find your God, to find your belief, to find your confidence, to find your path, your destiny, and where you need to be. Because getting up and getting your work clothes on and going to work for 8 hours, coming home and cooking the tea, dealing with the kids, sorting everything out, watching We Can't Pay, taking it away at 9 p.m. at night. Thank you for that. Channel 5, Channel 4, BBC One, all the main networks are at it. The bailiffs are coming, the sheriffs are coming. Well, now the sovereigns are coming, and that's because we've had enough. And it's a very slippery slope. Think of your children as well. This is another issue. Anybody asks you why you're doing it, we believe that in years to come, with what these people are doing, what Europe's doing, what the United Nations are doing, what Camp David's doing, what the Bilderberg's doing, what all these secret organisations are doing in partnership with corporations, and corporations tell the government and the lobbyists tell the government, well, we haven't got no money. We can't lobby these people. We don't know about the secret organisations. We're in the Brotherhood of Man, and the Brotherhood of Man has woke up, and the age of, what did we say, Aquarius, and digital information and technology and love and speaking and openness. That's where we're at, as simple as. So that's the excuse. If anybody asks you or makes a claim upon you, it's because it's a spiritual thing. Nobody can tell you what to do. You're not telling people what to do. You're speaking to people. I had a chance conversation with a guy in Derby post office. I forget his name, I'm very sorry. He was there with the post office bag though, and I told him about the UPU. I told him about the paper, the stamps, the military, the money, the notes, how you are construed a combatant, and it opened up his ears, and he came to the meeting several months later. So you have got the power to get to people. You don't need to get to everybody. We need to get to a certain amount, and that's what we'll do. Oh, good Lord. Lose the fear. Yes, John. John Middleton and John Sherry. I'm seeing a lot of names from the Bible as well. David's, John's, Matthew's. It's that's a good sign as well. Even though we don't follow that corrupted book, I understand and see the messages and the synchronicity in it. Jules Freedom's posted a link. Bless you. Dropbox. Freedom. That name in itself. Jules Freedom. Yes. Thank you. Big love. What else have you got for me? Loves and kisses and hearts. And we have for you as well. I'm sorry that it isn't moving as fast enough. I've seen the criticism on the YouTube comments and the videos. The videos that we make are just information based only. There are people that hate. There are people that troll. There are people that want to make you think we're out for other reasons, or we're perhaps leading you down the garden path for unhonourable reasons, or we've actually got it all wrong. Well, maybe we have. That's why we tell you to check. And when people do check and they actually apply it, and they ask us, or we send them off and direct them, and they go and do something for themselves, like Steve Colley did. What he did was epic in itself. He rang up the post office. He rang up somewhere, Switzerland I think he ended up, and he questioned everything. That's another great t-shirt there. And it turns out he had to go to the police. The police didn't know what he was on about. So he told them about the job. And he told them about the law. And he told them about the UPU. And he told them it's a heinous crime. And it also commits fraud. And it's a postal fraud. Nobody knows about this. These are the little things that we need to pick up on. These are the simple things. You get a letter and it's got the return address and it's a PO box and it's delivered through the domestic mail system, and it's a public company trying to contract with you privately, non-disclosed, using dodgy techniques. No case to answer. See you later. Done. Next. That's the stage we're at. We're no longer at the 3-letter process and doing 7 letters and 25 paragraphs. We've got to the fact where we speak in maxims. We use the maxims now. We did recommend that you look at and buy books with maxims in. The 13 maxims of equity, that will do you in good stead. The presumptions of law, I can't say that word, presumption of law, there are 12. You need to look at them. Get the books, do the research. Amazon, very cheap, doesn't cost a lot. Somebody bought a book for 3 pence and it had 800 pages in it. He just paid the postage. What else do you need to look at? Yes, conventions and things like that. International treaties. Start broadening your horizon. But again, this isn't our system, as we said yesterday. Our system, that's creator, woman, man, blood and flesh. Then the consent via that. You know, and common law would come and get, actually it would go creator, man, you got your common natural law, however you want to put it, and then your consent contracts with these. Simple. Once you all understand that, overstand it, understand it, stop using legalese, stop making mistakes on documents, stop copying and pasting, pause a moment and join a community where there is time, there is information, there is avenues, people listen, people will give you help, people will take the time out and they will travel. So on the whole, we need it localised. You need to find out and tell us where you are, where the best places are to go. If we have 3 people in 7 different cities, it's not really effective. So we need to be clever. We need to box smart. Perhaps a spreadsheet, a document, an Excel thing, an online chat, a Facebook one here on this group, and then we'll see, and then we'll localise it, and we'll start making the distances shorter, backing everything up. Pop-up meetings, these are great on a Sunday like today when most people are off work. We can do them in commons when the weather's good, and we can do them in people's businesses, back rooms, obviously if you've got a big house. Do it in your community, invite your street. Ultimately, it would get to the point where every Sunday, everybody on every street gets together. What are the issues? What you know, that kind of common unity that Bob mentioned. That's just, you know, how separated we are, and how factioned off we are, and how hostile we are to each other, and how aggressive and cannibalistic we are in our ways needs to be addressed. This cognitive dissonance that we're suffering from, it affects us, even the admins and the creators. We are not perfected in any way. We are not immune to it. We haven't got the shield on. We have stepped out of the Matrix, and like we mentioned about Neo, we have gone inside Agent Smith. Yeah, and there's a good the Golden Web will tell you about this. You must watch the Golden Web videos. They're in the event page now for you to link off. 6 hours, 3 videos. There's going to be hundreds of thousands of words, so you need to watch them and understand. They did tell you in the Matrix. That's all we're doing, telling you what Hollywood told you, but breaking it down again. We've given it you in the simplest form, and we're including references of which your conscious, subconscious can cognitively comprehend and put them together. This helps the pennies drop. It's about the karmic retribution is why they do that. Any of these books listed? Yes, Scott, the books are listed. Serge has put the list of books he's got. I've got stuff like Pocket Latin to English, English to Latin, dictionaries of law, constitutional law, administrative law and human rights. You would look at international covenants and treaties, look at the European human rights, look at Article 61, look at the Magna Cartas, document-wise, bills and acts. This is the way you would differ. Get the physical bill, the act, the reference, print them off, get the PDFs, archive them, make folders, call them stuff. This is the key to this, because we get so much of this going off. And it's like revisions, editions, and you need to start structuring your process and things like that. Like yesterday, people coming and making notes what they don't know about, asking a question and then hearing the answer or the proposed answer, the dialogue, and then they're writing it all down. So yeah, this is how we're structuring it. Nobody's got a given way to do anything, but what we do know is being open, honest, and uniting, and doing it like we are doing and allowed to do, because obviously Facebook, YouTube have got parameters we need to be aware of. We are always going to operate in a private capacity for the benefit of anybody that's watching. We have got a public capacity, of which is when we choose to go into the public. As far as I'm concerned, I am born a private vessel and being and spirit, and I remain a private vessel and being and spirit. And do you know why? Because I found out what you'd done to me and how you lied to my parents and what you did with your crappy bits of paper. We know, the people know, we couldn't call ourselves that because there was a trust formed, and that trust was formed with non-disclosed words and actions. There we go. Yes, people, it's simple as that. So when you find out there was a trust formed but you wasn't informed of the trust, therefore the trust is shizen, it's broken, there is no trust. So therefore we go back to the presumptions. We know the presumptions, we know that equity now exists, we know it's the highest form, we know how to deal with it, we've put the common law to one side, it's all valid, it all still works, it's non-effective, it's getting you, it's making us go to court and fund the courts. All we're doing is, when we appear, is giving them the chance to dip in and putting ourselves at harm. We need to structure this in a better way, which is where we're at. So if you can comprehend that and you're at the advanced level, then well done. And no, for the beginners, intermediates and people that have just arrived and have just lifted their head off the pillow, you are a private capacity. You was tricked into being securitized at birth, and that was when you didn't comprehend anything. You had nothing there. You was a baby. You couldn't speak, you couldn't write, you couldn't comprehend. You was freshly born, birthed from your mum. Then what they did with your mum is said, if you don't sign this, you're going to get in trouble. But they didn't explain what that trouble was, because perhaps it would have been better not to have signed it, or to have questioned more. Anybody that's having a baby now, or that knows anybody that's having a baby, once that birth has happened, yeah, show them our videos, show them the group, show them the documents, explain what the Vatican claims to do, and how the Vatican and the House of God, a separate entity and corporation to this planet, and it operates as a separate entity and corporation, but it also gets dealt with ecclesiastical. It's the next interaction between God and us, and then the monarchy. So these guys are where we're looking for if we are slaves or not. So anybody that's an agent, an informant, a shill, a hater, there's a way to stop us and to shut us up and to put this issue to bed. Simply present a live birth. We'll shut up. Give us that ticket, give us that document, the issue goes to bed. But nobody in the GRO, the state, the Treasury, the Vatican, the churches, the people around are listening, because they just say, oh, you are alive, and that's just formal paperwork, don't worry, it's all normal, nothing to look about, so nothing to worry about. But we look at it and we study it and we test it, and we stop calling ourselves misters. Bank accounts, Russ Gibbs yesterday, beautiful. Santander, go into your Santander, is it? They can remove the what? The mister. Apparently there's a memo gone out. There's lots of memos flying about at the minute with these corporations, and they are going along the lines of, listen to the people, don't give them their accounts, seize up the PayPal, NatWest, Barclays, we are watching, we are hearing. Heather, she's been arrested. I forget her second name. We need to look at that. We need to offer support. If I get arrested, know this, I'll be happy to be arrested, because I'll call it kidnap, because there will be no victim, and I'll play them at their own game, and it will be, it will be, if I disappear, you guys can take over. The admins have full control of sovereigns. Anybody in the admin now, you get the power and the authority and the jurisdiction to run the full group. We need to set a system up where if we start disappearing or things happening, I know it's a stupid thing to talk about, a bit like a James Bond film, but we talked about this yesterday with what Mr. Gettins brought, Carl, not Mr. Up. So yes, these are all things to be considered. We need a backup, yeah, we need backups to backups, and the people that are watching this, that understand this, thank you. The people that don't, get on it. Ask for a certificate of live birth, yeah. Break their unfair system. Non-disclosure. Santander kicked me out with my own promissory note, even though I had the bills of exchange. Yeah, they will do. And we'll quote it. We'll get the section. What's his name now? What's the legend that is? His name is Harvey Dent. He's got recordings where he's kept it in his pocket. He's just got the audio, and he's going to the bank. I've got this. I want to present it for payment. It's called a promissory note. It conforms with UCC 3-. I can't quote all of that. And then he goes to present it for the payment of the car. He does it about 8 times, and he then gets resistance from the establishment, from the proprietor, from the the merchant trader, and so they say, no, we're not taking a promissory note, we've never had a promissory note. And so he goes and says, get on the internet, type in UCC, and he directs the people from the showroom to the actual United States Corporation's legislation code, should we say, for the United Code commercial transaction. They read it out loud. You can hear it on his recording. They said, okay, yeah, it does exist, it is legal, but we're not taking it. They won't. They've been told not to. And this is where Carl Gettins comes in again, because he told us why. And we know why, because there are things called gatekeepers. You need to get to the Chancery and you need to get to the Chambers, yes, with the correct paperwork and the correct barrister, solicitor, whatever you want to call it. It's like, we don't use them, but those are the ways that they are saying to be done. Except if you get down the ecclesiastical route, you ignore all of this. You ignore, you don't recognise, you do not conform. They lied, tricked, deceitfully had us over. People have died because of their inactions and the contracts that they've put into place, the legalese, the way that they're a de facto are not actually operating as we thought they were. So, newsflash, the house of the God is why people go there, because they don't want to deal with these, because whenever you deal with these, it's just tricks, lies, deceit, inhonourable intentions. So we have got dishonour on us, and we're going into the realm of honour, and we're going into the realm of truth. There is no more shame. You do not need to feel shame for anything. There is a lot of shame for the corporation and the people that run that corporation. Those are the ones we're going to push that shame onto. We can step out of the shame, like I said. Get out of her, my people, if you do not want to share with her in her sins. That I don't want to say any more about, but if you can hear that and you can see, then you know there's alarm bells going off. Yeah, if you do not want to share in with her my sins, you need to get off the ship. And you've been put on a ship. It's a citizenship, it's a friendship, anything with the ship towards it. Partnership. Yes, it's a dictatorship. Well, we don't need ships. We're on dry land. We found our place and we are standing on it, and our feet are cemented on the ground. Should we decide to want to go on the water or into the water, we will do it like Jesus did. Perhaps we'll walk on it. If there is a water, we'll learn how to walk, so therefore we're not submerging into the water. Anybody that's underwater is classed as in trouble, not because of you drowning, but there's a financial legal thing that I read about that I can't quote you, but it says you're categorised as capsized, in trouble, you're off the boat, so you're in the water and up the creek without a paddle, all these things, but these are very important things, and the state has got the monopoly on us. The monarchy, the Vatican, and the state, the tri-state, force that we're aware of, has got this monopoly. We can say we're aware of it, but that's not good enough. You need to assert yourself, which is where we're going to come in. So perhaps we do need to talk to the house of God and go down the ecclesiastical route. David Russell, Dave Witcher, and other people that I know of have done that, so they've submitted everything they've got to the Facebook community, and we've analysed that. Unfortunately, I wasn't advanced enough when that information was presented to to comprehend and understand it all. So, a vessel on dry dock, it's a pile of ship. The Johns, you're on it, aren't you? Mick Sharman, that's been a long time since I've seen you. Morning, Mick. Afternoon, sorry, I've got up late. I just slept in. I'm all disorientated with time, so I need to balance out again. That's enough for the Sunday afternoon update. Thank you very much for watching. Please share and watch this video back. There is a bottom line, underlying message in all of this, and that is to get on, to see and to hear more, to question more, to help people. Know your neighbour. If everybody that was in our group and everybody watching just got to know the neighbour, started looking locally, find us community centres, give us a list and we will pick and we will decide together where the best areas are, where the best spaces are. Bring us administrators from other groups, bring us moderators, comedians, stand-up people, business entrepreneurs or business owners that want to divert their SERPs and tax contributions to us. And then we will set up a board of trustees. We will take sovereigns to the next level. We'll make the sovereign paralegals exit Babylon Trust. We will appoint some trustees. We will start putting the funds into there, getting some kind of stability and direction. Yeah, well, we have our own government. We govern ourselves. We manage ourselves. And the more people that come, once we expand this, you can see what will happen. We'll stop conforming, listening, having the need for that. We will go independent, we will go united, we will go on a national basis. We will do it openly, above board, within our parameters. If we need to let anybody know anything, we will give them notices. We will not petition, because petitions are theirs and they can disregard them and chuck them in the bin. We will do lawful objections. We need friends of cities. Anybody that, like people I've seen at the Nottingham meetings, the Free Thinkers meeting and stuff like that. I'm sorry I haven't attended. It's just overwhelming, the workload that I've got. I want to get places and I can't because we haven't set up the system of management yet. But these guys there was a guy that I saw speak, and he mentioned about the cities and the statutes and being friends and how to lawfully object and say stuff like that. So we are wasting our time. They are laughing at us, and you know, the laughing's going to stop, the time wasting's going to stop. We're going to show you the new methods, we're going to put it to an open debate. All this video is intended to be shared and spreaded for the general use and for the use of ourselves. And that's it. Thank you very much. Peace, love and light. Scott Hazard, great work, looking forward to watching the seminar. Julia, thank you, good morning. Thanks Dave from Andy, thank you everybody. Very touching, very emotional, but this is the next stage of the evolution. If you want it, it's there. If you want to jump on board and get on with us, then we're open to that. We've got the space, we've got the facilities, we are inviting you in, and we're putting it all together. So we're going to get some guest speakers, that's to be sorted out. We need to make some unity and some partnerships with people that are already established. If you don't want to, then that's fine, that's fair enough. The people that I've mentioned, there's no pressure. I have got other names in mind, but I don't want to mention everybody. But there's a lot down in London that we could actually meet up, link up with and utilise. Midlands area, there's a massive amount in the Midlands, so I think them two to concentrate on initially. London, wherever, even Devon, Dorset, Essex, it doesn't matter, just Plymouth. The Welsh, I don't know how we're going to do that, and then the Scottish, I don't know how we're going to do that. That's to be considered. The Irish, Northern Ireland, even all Ireland really. Anybody with a birth certificate. This is the next stage. We've got members in every continent, just about. We've got members on every country, and if you've got a birth certificate, it's interest of yours and your children. So let's have a think. Look out for the comments. You can get the PDFs from the file section. Apologies for people that didn't get all the files transferred. Videos, we'll put the links up for. We'll have separate dedicated workstations at the seminar. Perhaps some people to stand to one side and copying files and videos, but they're not so important. And let's see what we can do. All right. Thank you. Love and peace. And if I disappear, keep on it. Peace and love. Ciao for now. Thank you.